education from sorting and selection to human development in a maximum potential. Through this NEP 2020, government is looking forward to transform India a global knowledge superpower, and it will be only done by making education system for schools and colleges more flexible, holistic and multidisciplinary, which will bring out the unique capabilities.
This one-day seminar following key changes to the current system, such as moving towards a more multidisciplinary undergraduate education, moving towards faculty and institutional autonomy, revamping curriculum, pedagogy, assessment and student.
They must be felt with the heart. To commence with the process of learning together, I request everyone to rise for the prayer song.
Small cheer and brave welcome makes a merry fest, rightly said by William Shakespeare. Revered Chancellor, Founder President, Colonel Dr. Bell Rangarajan, respected Founder President Dr. Shakuntala, resource person of today's event, Dr. Prashant Nair, Head and Vice Chairman, IQAC, Amruta Vishwavidyapeetham, Coimbatore, esteemed Vice Chancellor, beloved Registrar, fellow Deans, COE, HODs, and all participating members from various departments. Warm greetings to all. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome this August gathering to the one-day seminar on National Education Policy 2020 for higher education, which is need of the hour. It is developing an equitable and just society and promoting national development. Providing universal access to quality education is the key to India's continued ascent and leadership on the global stage in terms of economic growth, social impartiality, scientific advancement, national integration and cultural protection. Universal high-quality education is the best way forward for developing and maximizing our country's rich talents and resources. And start the proceeding. On behalf of the Chancellor, as members of the Institute, I wholeheartedly welcome you all for this one-day seminar on National Education Policy 2020. At the outset, I would like to welcome our esteemed Chief Guest and Resource Person, Dr. Prashant Nair, Vice Chairman, IQAC, Amruta Vishwavidyapeetham, who has given his time concerned to our invitation and being here for today's seminar. Additional gratitude to you, sir, for assenting to be a part of our important day. We look forward to learning from you as well as having a time of life. Your knowledge and experience in this revealing topic will be very much useful to us. You radiate unnatural energy, and I hope that we all can do equally great and make this day memorable. I wholeheartedly welcome you, sir. Next, I am most grateful to welcome our acclaimed Vice Chancellor, who is always our guiding force in all our endeavors. I enthusiastically welcome you, sir. Subsequent, I would like to welcome our beloved Registrar, who is motivating and supporting us in all our accomplishments. I ardently welcome you, sir. I am indeed honored to welcome all Deans, Controller of Examinations, HODs, professors and participating faculty members from different departments. Passionately, I welcome you all for this today's event. With all our continuous efforts and to do something for society and move up towards a successful and fulfilling world, we all had the opportunity to be present here together. The seminar will not only guide us but also educate us on the subject of multiplicity pertaining to National Education Policy 2020. We are all surely grateful for this prospect. Lastly, on behalf of the management, Office of Quality Assurance and on my own behalf, I would like to welcome you all once again and inform you that the seminar will completely enlighten you relating to the National Education Policy 2020. All the vital aspects regarding the topic will be conveyed to you all. I am sure that all shall exit this auditorium with zero doubts, as a educator will ensure that all your queries are clarified.
Thank you, sir. I request our respected Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. S. Salivanan, to honor our chief guest with a bouquet. Thank you, sir.
It's my pleasure to introduce our chief guest as well as the resource person of today's event. Dr. Prashant R. Nair is presently working as Head and Vice Chairman of Internal Quality Assurance Cell of Amrita Viswa Vidyapeetham Deemed to be University, Coimbatore. He has over 22 years of teaching, research, mentoring, training, consultancy, and academic administration experience. He has taught in academic programs in USA and Europe at University of California, San Diego, Sofia University, Bulgaria and the University of Trento, Italy, as an Erasmus Fellow. He has written 6 books, 2 edited books, 1 book chapter, and over 50 publications in reputed journal, books, and conferences. He has mentored student teams who have won premier international and national competitions like Smart India Hackathon, Rajasthan Hackathon, TCS Digital Twin Challenge, and represented India as part of National Hackathon team for Singapore India Hackathon, and felicitated by Honorable Prime Minister of India. He has also been ranked as top innovation mentor in India by Atal Innovation Mission and coordinates Atal Innovation Mission activities at Tamil Nadu as regional mentor of change. Dr. Prashant R. Nair has been serving in various capacities like chairman, vice chairman, coordinator of Amrita Deemed to be Universities, IQAC since 2009. He has coordinated 3 cycles of NAC accreditation, Internal Quality Assurance Cell of Caltech University, along with our Team Quality Assurance. I welcome once again, sir. So I handed over the session to the resource person. Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning to all of you. This is my first trip to Caltech. I have heard only very good things about this institution, and I have a lot of affection. Is kind of probably things that you know, because this is only based on the document that is released by the Ministry of Education on the National Education Policy. So at best I can give an overview of what is, there are certain things, people say reading between the lines, right? The fine print is there, but you have to read between the lines also. And I'll try my best to kind of talk to you on what the ramifications are, what the impact is going to be in terms of the higher education scenario. The afternoon schedule is probably a little more new to you. Of course, you have all been doing these things, but last week I have been in Amrita since 2003, 2000, and I have completed 3 cycles of NAC accreditation, leading the efforts from the university. We are multi-campus. Now we are 7 campuses. We have 27 schools, 7 campuses, almost 1,800, 900 faculty. We are running almost all disciplines, 250 plus programs, courses programs we are running. And it's been a very good journey in terms of, it has had its share of both ups and downs. Because it's a learning curve for all of us. And we have been fairly successful in most of the international and the national rankings, and last 3-4 years now our efforts have become very consolidated. We have a center for ranking and accreditation and an IQAC. They are actually different. IQAC and the center for ranking are different, and there is a head for that center. We both work very closely in all the activities, and we are doing extremely well in both NARF international rankings, but it has had its share of ups and downs. Now, at the outset, I want to start with a disclaimer. This NEP, National Education Policy, has come with a huge promise, with a huge aspirational value document. It's an aspirational document of how the education system in India should be in the next 15 years. I'm again repeating, it is not an implementation document, it is an aspirational document, it is a vision document on what we should start doing now so that we have a good system of education for the country in the next 15 years, number one. Number two, there is no magic mantra, there is no silver bullet. This is not going to happen in 1 day, 2 days, 1 month, 1 year. For all the provisions of the NEP 2020 to get implemented, it may take at least 1 decade. So we have to approach this from that perspective. Now, somebody said, no, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. I think it was Lao Tzu. Journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And this step that we take towards the NEP 2020 implementation is not going to happen in 1 day or 1 month or 1 year. It is going to be in vogue, in implementation for at least a decade. The reason is policy takes time. Ultimately, policy can be made, but execution of the policy takes time. There is a lot of legacy system of education for, close to, we are Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, 75 years of independence. Right? We have had so many systems, we have had so many bodies, initiatives. One fine morning, you cannot wish off these things. It cannot be removed. So things will take time. There is a famous saying, devil is in the details. I beg to differ. I say God is in the details. The details are very important and implementation of all these provisions will take time. One step at a time, it is happening. In fact, last week, Ministry of Education has released an excellent document on a proposed structure for credit. All of us are following. As a university, you are already following those things. You already have value-added courses. You already have skill enhancement courses. But still, that document gives a very good guideline which we can follow. So, one by one step at a time, things are happening. This policy came out in 2020. Now it's almost 2.5 years. One by one steps are happening. It is getting implemented. There will be a lot of opposition. There are state-central issues are there. The bodies are there. Even today, Medical Council of India, it's called NMC. They are not willing to touch any. They are saying no. You are nobody to talk to us. Even today that is going on. But what will happen in the future, we don't know. So, I want to again stress, number one point, this is a vision document. This is an aspirational document, number one. Number two, the complete implementation will take at least 1 decade for all the provisos and the initiatives that are aforesaid mentioned in the policy to get executed. So there is no silver bullet, there is no magic mantra, it's not going to happen one day. But it is very good that we take one step at a time. One step at a time. Now, before I get into the policy, obviously it is better to be cautious. Now, in one fine morning, doing revolutionary changes is not going to help. I can tell you something that we have started doing. All of us have electives, right? From electives, we move to a stream of electives. The same stream of elective can be converted to a minor program. So, this is an indication. What you can do, I'll be talking to you about that in the afternoon. You already have students doing a sub-specialization, not a sub-specialization, but a student takes some elective in the 5th semester. He continues it with another elective in the 6th semester, 7th semester, 8th semester, he does the project. He becomes a specialist. Suppose you take computer science. He takes a machine learning course in the 5th semester. He takes an artificial intelligence course in the 6th semester. 7th semester, he does a data mining course. And 8th semester, he does a good project in data mining that becomes in a paper. Now, the base is there for you to have a minor program. I hope you understand. So, this is a very interactive seminar. Please feel free, anytime you can stop and we can discuss. But does it make sense? Yes or no? Please, yes or no? Yes. You have a stream of electors. Why can't you convert that root and stream of electors into a minor program? This is a small thing, simple things that we can do. So that's what I'm going to talk to you in the afternoon. Now, going into the overview, I have to again tell you there is some repetition. Many of you might have read this document. Many of you have attended seminars. So there will be some repetition. Please, if you don't want some things, you can just tell me. I can listen. Now, policy takes time. I've told you first itself. Policy takes time. Now, this did not happen in one day. Rome was not built in a day. It never was built in a day. This has been going on for so many years. The NEP 2020 is not the product of one government. NEP has been in discussions right from the time of independence. Last 75 years we have been discussing. And I have to be very honest in telling that even the UPA government before the NDA government in 2014 had constituted a National Knowledge Commission, NKC. A lot of beautiful recommendations from the National Knowledge Commission have found its way into this NEP 2020. So we have to give full credit to all the governments before this also for giving their inputs. And if you see this, there have been so many policy. For political reasons, the NKC, the National Knowledge Commission report is not mentioned here officially, but a lot of implementation guidelines have come from there. So policy takes time. Even going for a policy takes time. There is a big process. You have to, because we are a large country, there is a lot of consultation involved. Actually, every citizen of the country has to be consulted. Every stakeholder has to be consulted. The teachers, the students, the managements of the institutions who run educational institutions, the state government, the central government, everywhere. So this process started in 2015 and it only culminated in 2020. 5 years the policy has been in some stage of evolution. Policy takes time. Third point, implementation takes even more time. I will again repeat. First point, it's an aspirational policy. It's a vision document. Number two, the policy, it will take at least 1 decade to be implemented. Number three, policy takes time. Evolution of policy takes time, stakeholder. But that is the beauty of a democracy. It may be slow, but everybody is involved. Everybody, at least there is a semblance of everybody being involved. Now, I can tell you something. It's a very interesting thing. I am part of one of the subcommittees of the proposed Science, Technology and Innovation Policy, STIP. We have been discussing when did Corona start. Before Corona itself, this started. 2019 end we started work. Even today the policy is not gone to the cabinet. But I can tell you something that is already being discussed. One nation, one subscription. I am sure your librarian will have to convince the management you want to buy Scopus, Elsevier, IEEE, ASME, ASHRAE, ASC, so many journals. For every college, it's a significant investment. I'm telling you, it's a problem. Everybody is a problem. Now the plan is one nation, one subscription. Government will pay all the publishers. Every single publisher under the sun, Elsevier, Springer, IEEE, ACM, ASME, and the journals will be free of cost for each and every college. This is the provision that is going to come in the Science, Technology and Innovation Policy. I don't know, I hope 2023 it will be released, but this is the plan. And budget allocation will be there. So things take time. So we have to approach. Implementation will take even more time. That is why I said 1 decade. Now the vision, as I mentioned, this is an aspirational document. There's no doubt about the fact that there is a lot of thought. The idea is we need to have an education system that is the best in the world. Today, in terms of numbers, I'm only talking in terms of numbers, India is probably the third largest education system in the world. First is US, second is China. But then, US has very less number of institutions. Less number of institutions, but more students. You go to one Stanford University, there will be 50,000 students. You go to UCLA, University of California, Los Angeles, there will be 60,000 students. You go to State University of New York, maybe 150,000 students. So lesser number of colleges and universities, but more number of students. China is also similar. Number of colleges and universities may be significantly lesser than India. But you take one Shanghai Jiaotong University, there may be 2 lakh students in Shanghai Jiaotong University. You take Fudan University, there may be 50,000 students. Right? So that in terms of numbers, students, India is third, but in terms of number of institutions, probably India is the highest. Unfortunately, we have a very fragmented system. We have a fragmented system in the sense there are state universities, central universities, institutions of national importance, deemed universities, private like you and me, state universities, so many. It's a very complex, very, very fragmented system. It's a problem. Now, I can tell you, I know I was discussing with Valarvali ma'am about IQAC. IQAC is a 24/7, 365 days job. When you have completed NAC AQAR work, you have to give the NIRF data. When you complete NIRF, the Times Higher Education data collection starts. After that, you have to do the MBA. Then some affiliation or AACT, those things come. So, it's a 24-hour. But see the complication in this country. Separate statutory body, separate regulatory body. I will explain. Separate accreditation body, separate ranking body. This is a highly fragmented system. As a university, you are under the Ministry of Education. The regulatory part of a university is taken care by the Ministry of Education and the UGC or the University Grants Commission. Different body. You are primarily doing engineering or management. You come under AICT, statutory body. You are running programs in law. They come under the Bar Council of India, statutory body. Now you have to do NBA and NAC, accreditation agencies. You have to go for rankings, NIRF rankings, Times Higher Education ranking, QS ranking, separate ranking body. See, this is a highly complicated, complex, fragmented system. Hopefully, NEP will do away with this. Everything will come under one umbrella. That is the hope. It's not going to happen tomorrow or day after, but it will happen in the next 5 years to 10 years. But that is the hope. So the vision is there. The vision is Indian system is going to be one of the best. We already have the largest number of colleges and universities and the third largest number of students. But quality is a problem. We need to build the quality in such a way that even though we have this many students, the quality is down. But there is also issues about equity. Now, if you go to a state like Tamil Nadu, so many colleges, top universities, top colleges, everything is there. But you go to another state, say Bihar, just giving an example of a state, very few colleges. So there is no equity. Many students from North India come to southern states because there are no colleges. It's not evenly distributed. This is again a problem. Right? So the idea is this NEP policy, when it gets completely implemented, we will have the best system. We are already the third. Yes, quickly can you just we are already the third largest system in terms of numbers and the largest in terms of colleges and universities. So we want to have the quality in all these initiatives. Now I don't need to tell you, the whole country is talking about it, NASSCOM is talking about it. Can anybody tell me what is the employability factor today? 100 engineers are being graduated. How many of them are employable? Can anybody tell me, please?
17%.
17%. Okay. Who has told that, sir? Yeah, sir. Which body has given that number? NASSCOM. NASSCOM has given 17%. Anybody else? Actually, the number is perhaps 20 to 25. NASSCOM is claiming it is 17, but FICCI and other industry bodies are saying a little better, maybe 20-25%. So imagine 100 engineers are coming out, 75 of them are not employable. I am not saying here all of your students are employable, but if you see the entire country, out of 100 engineers coming out, 75 of them are not employable. This is a serious thing. Now, as per NASSCOM, if you take arts and science graduates, I am talking BCom, BBA, BSc, BA and so on, the number is even worse. 12 to 15% are only employable after in arts, sciences and humanities. That's even worse. Engineering is a little better, 20% or 17 to 25%. Arts it is 10 to 15%. So even though we have the numbers, quality is very bad. 80% are not employable. Again, it is unevenly distributed. Southern states, so many colleges are there. Northern states, it's very poor. Central India, even worse. Except some pockets are there. I mean, if you take Delhi, Noida, Ghaziabad, there is a cluster. But after that, you go other side, nothing is there. So the NEP aims to, even though India is third largest education system in terms of numbers and largest in terms of the number of colleges, quality is very poor. Right? You can even do a correlation. Last month, Science and Technology Ministry says that India is publishing third largest number of SCI papers are from India. No, not SCI papers. Third in terms of number of research publications. But I don't need to tell you, very large, good majority, not majority, a good number or a significant number will be in paid journals. Am I right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Please respond. Many are winners. So these are major issues. So the NEP is an aspirational document. It wants to improve the quality of education. It wants to improve the employability of the graduates, whether it is in terms of outcomes, and also the NEP wants you to focus on an education that is rooted in the Indian culture and values, an education that uses technology for anything and everything. This is specifically the vision of the NEP. Best education system in the world. Already we are third in terms of number of students and first in number of colleges and universities. Now in quality also we have to be number one. We have to use technology. We have to have a system that is rooted in technology and rooted in the Indian values and the culture. Pride in being an Indian. So some of the visionary aspects of this policy. Now quickly I will go through these major reforms and maybe we will, these reforms are, after this I think it's a good time for us to ask some questions, then we will move forward. So the NEP has proposed three types of changes: structural changes, regulatory changes and academic changes. I will repeat. This is the fourth takeaway from today. NEP 2020 proposes structural changes, regulatory changes and academic changes. Academic changes in terms of the course, the credit, the interdisciplinary options, the multidisciplinary options, the migration from one, you might have heard, no? First year you study, you get a certificate. Second year you study, you get a diploma. Third year you get a degree. Fourth year you get an honors degree. I am talking from an arts and sciences perspective. So these are what are these? Academic changes. Academic changes, changes in structure, changes in multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary options, credit framework, outcome-based education. Believe me, I am telling you, each and every faculty sitting here, including me, will grumble about how much of time is lost on calculations for OBE. Everybody will say that. Even I complain, so much of time is lost. But believe me, even the Medical Council of India is talking of OBE. Outcome-based education is the way that you measure the outcomes. Whatever be the discipline, engineering, medicine, dental, doesn't matter. You are measuring the outcome. It is needed for any discipline. But of course it takes more of our time. So those are the academic changes. Now the regulatory changes. I already told you, separate regulatory body, MHR, Ministry of Education, UGC, separate accreditation body, NAC, NBA, separate ranking body, NAR of Times Higher Education, QS, separate statutory body, AACTE, Bar Council of India, Medical Council of India, etc. All that there will be significant changes. It will take some time, but that is a big hope of the NEP. And of course, structural change. See, we are somewhat straight-jacketed in our approach. Let me give you this thing. Can you have a student complete a BE and an MBA in 5 years? Is it possible? Yes or no? Can anybody give me an opinion? Is it possible?
Currently it is not possible.
Currently it is not possible because of the structure. ACT is telling engineering is 4 years. MBA is 2 years. But my question is, sir, is it possible to compress? There is some overlap in courses. There is some overlap in many activities. Can we do it in 5 years? No, not from a structural point of view. Is it possible? It is absolutely possible. It is quite possible. There are a lot of courses. Suppose a student is doing mechanical engineering. Some courses are similar. You can compress courses, remove unnecessary content. You can finish it in 5 years. Currently not possible because the structural change is not there. Structure of a program itself will change. That is the aspiration. While having said that, even today AICTE is not agreeing. AICTE is agreeing you to do integrated programs, but they have not agreed to this even today. They are still discussing what to do. Now, today, MOOCs are a way of life. NEP is proposing that 40% of your course credit, whether it is BE, BA, MBA, MA, it doesn't matter. Can you do it through online, official and approved program? It is a revolutionary idea. 40% you can have approved MOOCs program. Approved means you can't just go to some certificate. It has to be approved. Maybe Swayam, NPTEL, Coursera, edX, Udacity. But see the vision of the program. A student can sit at home, do work. One semester he can sit at home, do his work, take a job, do all the courses through MOOCs for one semester. If he has a family problem, flexibility is there. Now already we know in the US this is what students are doing. US universities, they get some job, they take it slow, they take one course or two courses in a semester, remaining time they may be working. But there are some number of hours they are supposed to work, something is there, but then still some people have to survive. So that is the what change? What change? The structural change. So there is going to be academic changes, structural changes, regulatory changes. These are the three buckets where the change is going to happen. Structural, the structure of the program itself can change. Regulation, the accreditation body, the ranking body, everything will come under one. The academic changes. And the hope is that 50% gross enrollment ratio by 2035. Gross enrollment ratio means if 100 students are graduating from high school plus 2, 50 of them go for some higher education. That is the meaning of GER or gross enrollment ratio. Currently in India it is 27.3. That means out of 100 students that are going to schools, 27 of them go for some higher education degree, not vocational, higher education. But the hope is only to go to 50. Even if you take a country like US, maybe the GER is 45 or something. If you take China, maybe 42, 43. Some European countries, maybe Sweden, Scandinavian countries, Sweden, Norway and all, I think it is a little more than 50, 60-70% GER there. But Indian, the hope is by 2035 we reach 50%. 50% means out of 100 students graduating out of plus 2, 50 of them will go for higher education. Now coming to the structural change. After 1 year, it's already possible in US and Europe. You study something for 1 year, you don't like it. There are cases you will not believe. Somebody did pre-medical school, pre-med. In US you have to do pre-med before going into medical school. Somebody did pre-med, 1 year he did pre-medical, he didn't like it. Second year he shifted to engineering. It looks like it is impossible in India. Don't you agree? Doing 1 year of medical course, pre-med is like medical, first year of medical you can say. 1 year of medical course, second year you transition to engineering. It is impossible in India today, but it's possible in US. But then some course credits are transferred, some bridge courses are taken, and it's possible. But then that much of flexibility is there. So those kind of holistic, multidisciplinary education, flexibility of subjects is possible. Even NEP is saying, even the document that was released last week is telling, after 1 year, you have some flexibility to migrate. Maybe today in India, you may not be able to do a major migration from engineering to medical, but you can migrate from engineering to say sciences. Maybe from commerce to management. Those kind of migrations will be very seamlessly possible. That flexibility will come. Multiple entry. First year you study, you have a family problem, you need to take a job, you get a certificate. Second year you exit, you get a diploma. Third year you exit, you get a degree. That is if it's in arts and sciences. Fourth year you study arts and sciences, humanities, commerce for another year, you get a honors degree. Now in the honors degree itself, you instead of coursework you take a research component, you get an honors degree with research. These are the options that are possible. Having said that, AICTE is not willing to go out of 4 years. I am assuming what AICTE will do is they have to agree to 5-year integrated programs, where after 4 years of engineering, you do a 1 year master's, you get an integrated degree. That they are going to officially approve. Now again, if you take PG programs, many people who did PG in UK, United Kingdom, London, Edinburgh, Scotland and all, many of them, their programs are 1 year. In many countries in Europe, including Germany, the programs are 1 year. Now those people come to India, there is a big challenge, they don't get admission for PhD, because PhD in India you need 2 years of masters. So that is again going to move. Now, new PhD guidelines say even after a bachelor's degree you can go for PhD. You don't need a master's degree. So these kind of multiple exit and entry options are going to come, and they are going to be very seamless. But we will not be having a migration like US, moving from 1 year of engineering to medical and vice versa. That is not going to happen in India. But you will be able to have some sort of migration within. You do 1 year of engineering, you can move on to biotech. It may be possible. Those kind of things are going to happen. Then of course MPhil program, MPhil is again a remnant of the British period that is going to be discontinued. But this is very interesting, credit transfer. I'm sure you have a very good international, I used to run international programs in our university almost a decade back. I know the kind of difficulty it is there. It's not easy at all. Very, very difficult. Europe, the credit structure, I think it is a 5-point CGPA or something. What is that? Eureka credits. How to, what is it? ECTS. ECTS is 5 points, no? How to map that 5 point to our 10 point? It's a big challenge. I know as a vice chair of computer science, one student is doing the credits, it's a pain. But now with the ABC, that is the Academic Bank of Credits, it's going to be very seamless. Provided the software, accommodates. But one big problem that I foresee in the ABC is that the Controller of Examinations office will need a lot of manpower for the data entry. That is something I see that they are not answering how it's going to be done, because today in an ABC, a student can register, a university can register. Who is going to do the authentication? How is that authentication protocol being designed? They are not so clear about it. Anyway, we'll come to that later. Okay, this is the second structural change that is going to come. Now, if you take a nature of an institution, Railtech, you have a lot of research going on, right? You have some faculty doing a lot of research. You have some faculty doing more of research, less of teaching. You have faculty doing hybrid work, both teaching and research. You have some faculty only doing teaching, maybe. Now, if you take an institution also, so many affiliated colleges are there. They are teaching institutions. It's very difficult for them to become like an IIT. It is impossible today. So, the NEP is talking of this very good structural change. There will be, you take institutions like IIT. IIT, we know, it is a research institution. The primary job of the faculty is the research. Teaching is part of it, but not the main thing. It is research and only research. So, you identify, you put them in buckets. One bucket is research-intensive institutions. IIT, IIM, Indian Institute of Science, ISER. Those kind of institutions will be research-intensive. There will be teaching-intensive. So many of these affiliated colleges will become autonomous, but they will be primarily focusing on research. And they may be doing a little of teaching and little of research. And maybe most of the universities, many of the good universities will be hybrid. They will be both teaching intensive and research intensive. So these kind of things. Within 15 years, the plan is that all colleges will become autonomous. How it's going to happen is yet to be decided. Already Bangalore University has planned this. They have broken down the university into 4 or 5 pieces. Eventually, I think Bangalore University had 400, 500 colleges under them. I don't exactly remember. I remember that person telling me they have broken all the institutions will become autonomous. Now already that is happening. If you come to Coimbatore district, most of the good colleges are already autonomous. Now I am not talking about PSG, Amrita and all. The next rung institutions, Sri Krishna College autonomous, Kumariguru College autonomous, Ishwar College autonomous, Hindustan autonomous, all the institutions are becoming autonomous. So within 15 years, every institution will be autonomous. That is the idea. The affiliating university system will close. Now again, devil is in the details. then what will happen? Who will regulate them? Those issues are still to be resolved. What about the revenue that is coming? I don't know. Anna University budget from affiliation is massive. What will happen to that money and that budget? I don't know. These are questions that people have to resolve. Now, that is why I am trying to tell you, these things will take time. This is the vision of the policy. One more thing the government is planning to do is model multidisciplinary education and research university. To some extent, the institution of eminence is a proposal is similar. In every district, they want a center of excellence which is focusing on research but more at an interdisciplinary level. Again, this idea is only an idea. It has not been, they have not decided. So each of these will take time. I hope you appreciate what I am trying to tell you. None of these will, Rome was not built in a day. This is not going to happen in one day. It will take its sweet time. Yeah. Now the government is already having graded autonomy. To be very honest, once your NIRF ranking goes up, the more and more autonomy provisions will come. Because once NIRF came, all these magazine rankings vanished. Don't you agree with me? Nobody cares about week ranking, Outlook ranking, Data Quest ranking. Nobody cares because everybody goes. I'm not saying NIRF is perfect. Every year NIRF is improving. I have to say it is not perfect. Even today it is a little tailor-made or what is that, match fixing for IITs. It's true. Little match fixing is there, but then still it is good. So NIRF is going to be very important because NIRF and NAC will give you more and more graded autonomy, more and more provisions will come. You will have more flexibility academic, administratively and financially. So these kind of things are coming. National Mission on Mentoring, government has just started talking about this thing. Of course, there is some Margdarshan initiative. You have heard about that, right? Good institutions are mentoring. That is going to become a bigger movement. This is a little touchy for private institutions like you and me. They want to implement an independent board of governors. Now, it remains to be seen how much the promoters, what is the power of the promoter in the trust and all those things. But this is yet to be seen. Now I know that EPSI, Education Deemed University Provisions, have a new amendment has come. But I think EPSI, we have decided to go to court because of the provisions are not friendly for the promoters. I don't exactly know, but this is going to be the single regulator. This is, I already told you. Everything will come under one umbrella. I'll explain this a little later. But even today, Bar Council of India and Medical Council has not agreed. But I am told that Dharmendra Pradhan has told that he will bring it to the attention of the Prime Minister and convince the medical, what is that? NLC, National Medical Commission to come on to board. There is a discussion. Some official, some interview also he told, I am going to bring it to the attention of the Prime Minister. Okay. Now already, this is already going to happen. Online self-disclosure based transparent system for approval in place of it. I think already AICTE has done this, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Already AICTE has done this. One very interesting, now here I want to slightly deviate and tell you. This is my observation. Because I know how this works. Be very careful on every data that you submit. I'll tell you why. Now there is a triangulation of data. You are giving a submission for you are doing it now. AICTE, All India Survey on Higher Education, goes to the Ministry of Education. AICTE data goes to AICTE. UGC data goes to UGC. You may think they don't talk to each other. You may think. Because people do that. You submit say 1,000 faculty here you submit 1,500. 3 years back this would have worked. Because UGC doesn't talk to AICTE, AICTE doesn't talk to ministry. 3 years back that would have been okay. Now it's not going to be. Because all this data is getting triangulated. Everything is getting triangulated. There is a new initiative one nation, one data, one portal is going to come. All the UGC data will be ported to one nation, one data. AICT data, one nation, one data. So whatever number you give, it has to be matched. Even today, when you are going to see, when your DVV is over, your student numbers are verified from AICT. They are not asking you for any data from the students. Give me your student roll number and all. They are checking the All India survey. So this is very, very important. Whatever you submit, ensure the consistency of data. Some mistakes are fine. Some mistakes are fine. Minor mistakes are fine. One place you can show 1,700. Another place you can show 1,750 because some faculty will come and go. That is fine. But major deviations will come. I don't know if you have got some NIRF query, meaning they have found some inconsistency. Normally NIRF data, most of it is not verified. Most of it. But if they have asked you for a query, that means they have found some deviation from some submission. You might have submitted something for AICT, they would have checked and found some deviation. That is where this NIRF queries. Okay. So these are all. Yeah. Public investment in education to reach 6% of the GDP. It's not. We are not there. I think we are near 2 to 3%. But hopefully it will move on to 6%. This is the plan of the government of India. It's a very, very nice initiative. NRF. Single window for research. Now, as a university competing with so many other universities, some faculty look to DBT for funding, some faculty go to DST for funding, some go to UGC, yet others go to industry for funding. It is a very difficult job. Don't you agree with me? Out of 100 proposals you send for funding, how many do you get? Please give me an answer. 5? Wow. 1 or 2, exactly. You sent 100 proposals, only 1 or 2 are coming to. Is it because the other 99 proposals are not good? It's not so. Perhaps all those proposals were good. But the competition is so high. And the channeling is also not good. Obviously, I am not casting any aspersion. As a private university, I am finding that you go for a review, IITs, both sides you have an IIT, obviously you cannot compete with him and you lose the project. But to some extent, the NRF will change that. National Research Foundation. Single window. All research projects from all government agencies, including industry, through the chambers of commerce, FICCI, CII, Confederation of Indian Industry, ASSOCHAM, FICCI, all of them are going to be involved in this. All their research projects will be routed through the single window NRF. This is the vision of the National Research Foundation. Good, no? Everybody, equal opportunity. Every single project in the country, whether it is from an industry, whether it is from a ISRO, from DST, DBT, should be available. Now, when it's going to be implemented, it may take a couple of years, but still, it provides an even playing field. IIT can apply for the projects that they want, but they can leave the others for us. Many cases we don't know. Even industry projects, we don't know. Now, I know your industry, you have a very good industrial relations team, but I know how, I'm sure they will agree with me, how difficult it is to convince that industry. Convincing him to talk to you, that takes time. So, this NRF is going to be a great change. Single window, all project research available on a common portal, available for everybody and anybody. This is the vision of the. And even DST is on board. EST, DBT, AICT, UGC, all the government funding will be through the NRF. They have already initiated talks with CII, Confederation of Indian Industry, to see how they can route. So if CII has 1,000 industry members, they will tell them, you please route NASSCOM. All the members of NASSCOM, they will give their requirements through the NRF. This is the plan as far as this thing. Internationalization of education. Credit transfer, tie-ups with foreign universities, twinning programs. Today, the guidelines from UGC, ACT for twinning programs are not very friendly. I don't know if you have started some twinning programs, they are very, very difficult. You cannot implement it. That is a fact. But now it will, once you are registered in ABC, those things will be much easier. Credit transfer will be much easier. Integration of vocational teacher and professional education, vocational programs, skills, developing skills can be a part of a curriculum. You can have a skill-based minor also. A skill-based minor is possible. I will tell that in the afternoon talk. Setting up of new quality higher education institutions will be made easier. Multidisciplinary will be allowed. Private players will be allowed. Special education zone for disadvantaged regions, backward districts, aspirational districts, and so on. And of course, national, this is some other stuff, National Educational Technology Forum. Interestingly, Dr. Anil Sahasrabudhe, chairman of ACT, has now taken over as the head of this. The former ACT chairman has taken over as the head of the NEP. So he is now going to build a national mission on educational technology, assist virtual labs and those kind of things. Yeah. A lot of focus for Indian knowledge systems. Even today there is a lot of projects. ACT itself has got a big division on IKS, Indian knowledge systems. Lot of focus is there. Development of literature, vocabulary in Indian languages, research on languages, classical language promotion, including classical languages like Sanskrit, Tamil, and so on. So many initiatives for Indian culture, values and things. And of course, use of technology. Technology is going to be very, very prevalent. Technology will be used for educational planning, teaching, learning, assessment, evaluation, administration, management. The regulation will be self-regulation. As I mentioned, we are submitting the data. No inspections will be there. Only inspections and visits will be there if there is some deviation or some doubt that they have. This is what is going to happen. And so on. And of course, more of, this I already told you, that's all. So, yeah, that's so this is the kind of an overview in terms of the NEP 2020 provisions. Now, as I mentioned, there is going to be lot of structural changes. Academic changes, I am trying to sum up what I tried to told you. Academic changes are there, regulatory changes are there, structural changes are there. And how this regulatory change, the hope, it's still not, the bill has not come to the parliament, but the idea is that all the statutory and regulatory agencies except medical programs and legal programs will come under an umbrella. The name may change, Higher Education Commission of India. UGC, ACT, all those will come under this body. It will be an umbrella body for the entire higher education excluding medical and legal education, HECI. And I am told that the education minister will be trying to convince the Prime Minister on even including the medical and legal education. This is what I am being told. So there will be 4 verticals. One will be a body called NAC, National Accreditation Council. NAC, NBA, all these, functionality of NAC and NBA will come under this NAC, National Accreditation Council. All the funding means research projects, will come under this Higher Education Grants Council, and the NRF the NRF will be the window of this HEGC, Higher Education Grants Council, all the grants. Now, in terms of having standards, whatever AICTE is doing, or Bar Council of India is doing, the setting the professional standards, that will be under the GEC or the General Education Council. And the last, what is UGC is doing, that is going to be under this Higher Education Regulatory Council. So the plan is we have an overarching umbrella body for higher education. One wing or one vertical, one bucket will be accreditation, ranking and accreditation. One bucket will be funding. Government funding is there for this thing. All that will come under the second bucket. The third bucket is the standards. So AICTE will set the standard. For this many students, you need this many computers. For this many students, you need this many labs. You need a faculty-student ratio of 1:15. Those standards will be set by this GEC, and the regulation which is done by UGC will come under this. So these four independent verticals will transform this thing. So we will not be running left, right and center. Single body with four verticals. Now, when this is going to happen, hopefully this bill will come into the parliament in 2023. I was told that in the winter session there was a plan, but it didn't go through. So this is the regulatory change that is going to happen. Meaning, doesn't mean that we are going to escape documentation or OBE. Don't think that NAC is going to vanish or NBA is going to vanish. You still need to do the documentation. In fact, that is my one very important slide, the importance of documentation. I'll talk about it in the afternoon. You need to focus very much on the documentation, because even though it's a single body, it will all be based on self-disclosure. Meaning, whatever data you submit, you need to have the supporting evidence. Document. Keep it. You need to produce it. So, the thing continues, but how you get to do it is what is needed. So this is the overview that I wanted to give. This is a repetition of what is there, but 1.5 hours. I'll be happy to take any number of questions that you have. So the remaining is just about the same thing, only in a different way. I've already told you all this. Yeah, I'll close with this. No, this is not. Yeah, this is. Yeah. So I can take any number of questions. Because I'm not repeating each topic, because I'm sure most of you have read this, attended seminars, you got an overview to various programs and stuff. So I don't want to spend too much time. Afterward, I'll spend more time on the credit and stuff. But I can answer any questions that you have. Yes, sir.
I have a few questions. When we talk about the NEP, the base when we started is the employability. As of now, we have 4 years of engineering education and 2 years of postgraduate education, and post 3 years of PhD education. By completing the timeline, you have to keep the timeline on this side, and you need to keep the employability on this side.
Yeah.
How this is going to balance? And the second question is online education system. Quality of assessment versus online, because in COVID we see, if I want to speak open, we see what happens.
We know, I agree with you.
Yeah. That thing is flexibility versus employability. What I observed personally after implementing the CBCS from 2015 in this institution, more flexibilities are given. Like a student from computer science department transferring to aeronautical engineering at 5th semester. Say, to take this case. So they are taking more time to complete the degree. So these 3 points: employability versus time to complete the degree, online versus quality of assessment, flexibility versus employability. Please.
See, first one I'll answer is I'll go one at a time. Flexibility versus employability. See, there is a point that you said, you give too much flexibility, it can create a problem. People may misuse the system. But I do not think that if you have properly implemented outcome-based education, when I say, let me deviate a bit. What is the purpose of OBE? I have taken a course, okay? I have taken a course, an iteration of this course this semester. I have a course with 5 or 6 COs, course outcomes. I have done several evaluations based on that. I might have some quizzes, some periodical exam, end semester exam, mini project, doesn't matter. I have mapped each and every question given in each and every evaluation to the CO. Then I have fixed a target, I have fixed a threshold. I am looking at the outcome attainment, not over. Outcome means once you have completed a course, you have data. Now the challenge is diagnosing that. If one student has not attained, if many students have not attained one of the course outcomes, there might be some logic to that. Either you diagnose it as the teacher didn't teach that properly, one option. Second option is probably the question paper was very tough, another option. But that is what the purpose of OBE is, not only doing the calculation, but monitoring the course continuously throughout the semester. Meaning, you need to have a committee. We call it in MBA, calls it DAC, Department Academic Advisory Committee. Department Academic Advisory Committee meets 3 times in a semester. When the first meeting of the semester, what does this DAC do? Doesn't say hi, bye. You are taking the attainment calculations from the last iteration of the course, understanding what the attainment calculations were, understanding what the feedback of the course was there, and that is what they call closing the loop. And I know you are going for MBA. First question that an MBA assessor asks is, how are you closing the loop? Believe me, nobody knows how to close the loop. So if you implement OBE properly, have the 3 DAC meetings every semester. First meeting, you get the last iteration attainment. Understand what went wrong, what went right, what went wrong, feedback. Implement it, monitor it, you will get a clarity. So the quality part is taken there. Now, flexibility. So, there are, we know about slow learner and fast learner. This is something that NAC is always talking about. Slow learner versus fast learner. Even NAC is telling, so there is no gradation. But a strategy for a fast learner should be different from a slow learner. Because you are a university, you have the flexibility to do that. You have the flexibility, you have been given the freedom to do it. So the flexibility has to be used in a very sparingly, in a judicious, in a careful and cautious manner. So fast learner, he will use the flexibility. Slow learner, you cannot give him that flexibility. So I think when you implement the OBE properly with checks and balances, controls, quality is automatically taken care. Now I will go into one more level of detail. You have multiple batches. Now please understand, you have 5 classes teaching computer science, 5 teachers teaching operating system. In a DAC meeting, you can have to spend hours understanding the attainment of batch A, batch B, batch C, batch D, batch E. There will be individual differences. You can diagnose that from the data. From there, you can even say, okay, the teacher who took operating system for B batch did not teach this concept properly. The data is the new oil. I am not saying the data is giving you the answer. So when you implement this, I think the quality part is taken care. Employability part, flexibility. See, the slow learners, you give them strategies, they go up. Fast learners, you don't need to do anything. They will go up anyway. but you give them avenues to go up the ladder. They will be the ones who get the MNC placements. You give them special training for MNC. They will be the ones who will take your university forward. So that takes care of that flexibility versus second question.
Online versus quality of class.
Yeah, online I totally agree. See, students are students. Students everywhere are the same. You don't monitor them, they will misuse. Let's be very honest, they're children. They are 17-year-old or 18 or 19 or 20. 21-year-old people. We were also like that, no? So you give them too much freedom. I remember even today, 20 years back, I'm talking of 20 years back, when I just joined as a lecturer, I remember business school started an invigilation-free exam. So that dean, I'm not going to use names, but he told, I don't have invigilation. It was a massive failure. His logic is, all these students have come for MBA after completing BTech, after completing BCom, BBA. They are all very mature. They are already 20 or 21. They should be mature enough to write an exam without invigilation. It was a massive failure. Because see, you have to understand that. So, online also, lot of students have captured. We can only be careful. We have tools to, we have to have methods and tools to check for academic dishonesty. Now, I want to also point out, if you do not nip this academic dishonesty in the bud, now is a good time you can check the academic dishonesty. This fellow will go to some company, he will continue this dishonesty, he will create a bigger problem, he will get into some scam. Think what will happen in the future. So we have to have a zero tolerance policy. Online there are problems, but there are tools. See, that fellow is making tools to cheat you. You can find tools to catch him. That's all I can say. You know, plagiarism detection tools and all those things are there. So that is the only way forward. But you have to strike a balance. But I think there are a lot of good tools there. Even in computer science, I don't exactly remember. Nowadays, I don't go to labs. 10 years I have not gone to labs. But there are some tools that you can check where somebody has written a code. If it is copied, it can be easily found out. I don't know what is the name. Anybody knows that? Code checker. You know, you can compare the code. So in a lab class of 30, if people have copied the code, it will easily find out. The software is very good. So those kind of tools we have to research and find out so that we don't allow for academic dishonesty. It's very dangerous. The student will go out and create more problems and spoil your. First question. One more thing, right?
Versus
Huh?
time of employability versus
Yeah.
time of
So time of degree, PhD I want to dissociate. But employability, see again, if you're taking masters and bachelors, I think, as I've given, some flexibility is good because if I can complete a BE and an MBA in 5 years, 1 year I'm saving, where I'm able to earn and provide for my parents and my family. I think that's fine, as long as the quality is good. PhD is a different ballgame because PhD is a research-based degree. Now, I don't think there is a time frame. 3 years is, in our university, minimum is 5-6 years. 5 years people have taken, even though part-time or full-time. There are some minimum standards for that, which even UGC has given guidelines. UGC has given a basic guideline on PhD, but most universities prefer to set the bar a little more higher. Whether it's good or bad, it's debatable, but I think that time period for PhD has nothing to do with the quality. That's what I feel.
New NEP proposed that 40% of credit should be through the book courses.
No, it's only a guideline. See, so the guideline that they are telling is up to 40%. It doesn't mean that you need to do 40%. It can depend upon your regulations. Up to 40%, that is the higher bar. Now, you can decide if you feel, my feeling is masters may be possible. Masters courses 30 to 40%. PhD courses certainly possible. Coursework, PhD coursework is there. In our university, even 10 years back, not 10 years back, 2022, 2016 or 15 onwards itself, you could do MOOCs courses for PhD coursework. PhD coursework you can definitely implement 40%. MTech masters maybe you can implement 20 to 30%. BTech may be a little too much because it will be very difficult for you to manage that also. Right? So maybe you can put your academic regulations can decide, maybe it is 10% or 15%. They are only telling 40 is the higher bar. Maximum 40 you can't go more than 40. That's all they are telling. And every university can decide because it also depends upon the quality of your students. Depends upon the quality of your students because whenever you are talking of MOOCs, you are very cautious. It should be a proper MOOCs course where there is a grade sheet, where it's got an exam. It should be a list. So I will say that your academic council and board of studies should list it.
That is the practice we are doing that. The concerned board of studies should recommend mostly from the NPTEL courses.
NPTEL. You can look at Coursera, edX,
The Coursera that we don't have how they are evaluating the structure, we don't have.
But there is some rigor in that. Actually, Coursera, the company, they are having tie-ups and all. Some universities have gone for mass Coursera courses. To some rigor is there.
We permitted the Coursera courses during the pandemic season.
Okay.
But now we are going there. Already we implemented the courses from 2015 onwards.
Okay. And there is also something, this IITB is also doing some program, IITBX. IIT Bombay is doing some very good online programs. Now most of the top deemed universities have started online programs, Manipal, Amrita, VIT. We have very good rigor is there. But it's flexible. Flexible in the sense that somebody is working from 9 to 5. From night 5, evening 5 to 9, 10 or night 10 o'clock, he can attend the classes. The platform is flexible. So it helps him. But we don't compromise on anything, rigor. In fact, exams and all, what is that, proctor-based examination and all, we have bought that software also because people are copying and all. There is one platform called Discord. Does anybody know what is Discord? Any computer science madam? Discord, you know what it is? Discord is when we were during the pandemic, we found that students were misusing Discord for answering Viva. Discord is like Slack. Slack. Slack is it's like a WhatsApp with so many features. Discord means you can have many people on the same call, they will be hidden. So I am asking a question to a student. She or he is talking to somebody else on Discord and they are telling the answer to her. These students will do these things. Students are students everywhere. We have to have mechanisms to find that. We found that out. We banned it also. Those kind of things. We have to be smart. If the student thinks he is smart, we should be smarter. That's all I can say. Yes, sir.
This is regarding offering a degree in each year.
Yes, ma'am.
When they drop out after second year, we are offering diploma. But when you consider engineering education, the curriculum, first year we offer physics, chemistry, something.
Yeah.
Second year they are offering just basics. So with that basics, if you offer a diploma course, how do you make sure that they are employable? They will not know any skill set there.
The new structure is such that the first year it's more some courses of the core. We are doing a core, no? We are doing a computer science degree. In the first year there will be a few courses in computer science. To give you an example, there will be a programming course, C programming course. So at least he knows to do a C programming course. He can get a job as a junior programmer. He may be learning English, mathematics, that's a different thing. So the skill set is there. In fact, if you do a study of this national vocational framework is there. For every skill, there is a job available. Yeah, that's what. Every skill there is a job. So to answer your question, somebody wants to do a BTech in computer science in the first year, 4 years. First year he drops out, but he has learned C programming. He has learned some fundamentals of computing. He can become a simple entry-level programmer. So he can be mapped to a job.
And leave out the CSE maybe because it depends on the
requirements. All courses, the first year there will be some courses of the major, some courses of the minor. 2 semesters are there, no? Few courses of the major, few courses of the minor, more courses of the multidisciplinary skill and all those things will be there. So that you have to figure out how to do. That is where the role of the BOS is important. Curriculum has to be framed in such a way. It's not easy. Structure will change. In the first, see, the idea is, I'm supposed to talk to you about that in the afternoon. First year and second year, it will be some courses of the major, some courses of the minor, complete all the courses of the multidisciplinary, complete all the value-added courses, environmental science, yoga, etc., all those things. Complete all the skill enhancement courses. Third and fourth year, you focus on the major maximum and lesser the minor. This is the idea. So you complete all these things in the first 4 semesters. That's the idea. So second year, he comes out with a certificate. Some idea he will be having. So it will be a big challenge.
Sir. Actually, earlier I was thinking about the one subscription. So now you got the answer. So in future we will get one subscription.
Yeah.
And secondly, we want to know any possibility to access the infrastructures, facilities from IITs, NEPs. Is there any framework which will happen in future to access so that all the people will be getting benefited, especially?
Actually, DST is working on a scheme, SATHI. So there are 2 things happening. One, DST is promoting a scheme called SATHI. SATHI scheme means you start a central, you can take the lead. I'm just giving you an example. You can take the lead for starting a major research center, instrumentation center. You are the lead institution. You can add 4 or 5 institutions, companies with that. Facility will be in your university because you are the lead. The other 4 or 5 institutions, colleges nearby who are not as good as you, have to invest some money because there is some breakup that you have to discuss. So the grant is crores. Government will give some 5 crores. You will have to put some 6-7 crores, but those institutions you have to decide. Each of you give 50 lakhs. It's a common infrastructure facility. Number 1, this is happening. This is a good initiative which can be done. So one, just to give you an example, I don't know what is the major research center here. What is the major?
Biotechnology.
Biotech. So if you are leading the biotechnology, you have a SATHI program, you can take 4 or 5 colleges nearby. I don't know the colleges which are nearby, and make them your support. Ulta, you can do the Ulta also. So suppose Sairam Institutions is starting an aerospace center of excellence in the SATHI. You have a small group of people doing aerospace research. You can join them as a hub and spoke. You can be a spoke institution, that is the hub institution. But please understand, the facility will be in the hub. You have some joint ownership and all. So when that facility comes, you get more priority over others. It is commercial also. Second thing, DST is actually working on a program where all the research, this thing is, it's on a shareable optimization basis. But unfortunately, it is not taking off because nobody has time. See, even if you are talking to some IIT professor in Chennai, Madras, asking them for time, you will say, I'm very busy. So there is some plan is there. I don't think it has taken off.
Actually, it is not like talking to IIT professor. We have to have access to the facility.
Yeah.
So there is a person who is in charge. He has to be there to help us to take, so for example, some or whatever. So that is the ultimate aim. For example, SATHI, it's closed loop. It is not going to be an open loop system.
No.
So that particular,
no sir, even though it is closed loop, it is open to anybody on a very minor chargeable basis.
But still, it is not approachable.
Okay.
Yeah, still there are some issues. So
okay.
I also had SATHI program with IIT, we thought of, but still they have not considered.
Right.
So similarly, those hindrances are there. So how to overcome those hindrances so that uniformly everyone will have an access to the facilities, so that we will have an access for all the infra in all over our country.
that provision, one chapter is there in STIP, Science, Technology, Innovation Policy 2020. If you use a Google, there is one chapter on that. They are even telling you how it can be shared. But the challenge that I find is that, ultimately, even if you are going to visit a facility, you need the support from the expert there, right? That time, how you will account is the question. It's a little challenging because somebody is calling and saying, I want to visit your lab, I am part of this program, please give me a date. Okay, you come, but I should be physically available to guide you. That is the challenge I am foreseeing. That's what I found out. Because I get a lot of calls from institutions to visit Amrita. IQAC had, my challenge is not making them visit. My challenge is getting my person there to help the other person. That's sometimes becoming a challenge for me. That is my personal view. But in STIP 2020, this is all, one chapter is there. Open innovation, I don't remember. Just Google STIP 2020, Science, Technology, Innovation Policy. Cabinet will take it up in 2023. It is talking of this sharing of research facility. Because see, there are some facilities, why you don't need to invest. It's already there. You can pay some small amount and use it. That is the idea. But how it is going to be implemented is a question. That somebody had said somebody.
Salim. Hello?
Yeah, yes sir.
So there are certain companies, they are hiring students just for 12th standard.
For what sir?
They are hiring for a job even after finishing their 12th standard. Don't even need a degree. So they are giving 2 years training. After that they will hire them as a regular employee. So what is your opinion? How do you see it?
Is it like a finishing school thing?
Yes, after 12th standard. They don't even need degree. They are giving training for 2 years. After that, they are hiring them as an employee, regular employee. So,
I think if somebody has a family problem, he needs money for the family, it's a different thing. But the problem is, those 2 years of, from an education point of view, it is a break. See, he's not getting, unless the company is giving him some diploma or certificate, it's a problem for him because now tomorrow the company closes down. What will he do? 2 years he has work experience. Yes, he has done some software development, but he doesn't even have a basic qualification, BTech, to get into another company. So it's a little risky proposition.
So what if all the companies take this stance?
No, they won't do that, no, because see now if you see, all the major companies, NASSCOM has given some guideline. I'm talking IT companies. NASSCOM has given some guideline and all. Now every year, every company HR is improving the bar. Now, see, to get into a software engineer role, you need minimum BTech. So somebody who works 2 years in a company as an apprentice, it's an apprentice kind of thing you are telling, no? Finishing school apprentice. So apprentice, he has an apprentice. Even if he gets a certificate signed by the company, it's not going to help him. He cannot go for the software. So company HRs are every day improving the bar. So formal education will not vanish. These things are risky, according to me. Unless it's a very top company where you have an assured job for 10 or 20 years. What is that government military scheme? What is it? Agni Path is a similar scheme. I mean, because it's a short service commission. But the problem is, after that, what do? They have promised that once you complete Agni Path, somebody CRPF will take you. It's a little risky, according to me. Yes, sir. Yeah, one major thing is employment. So they are talking about one technology usage. The technology is there, no? The pedagogical improvements, curricular improvements, technology support one. Second thing, they are recommending OBE for everything. Even if you are a doctor, also there is no OBE and all. No, they are going to measure the outcomes maybe in a little different way. That is what they are talking about, outcome-based education. This is how they want to, and technology used to improve the quality.
You can't guarantee that with
see, ultimately, sir, it's a market forces, right? Ultimately, at one level, we can do our job. The balance is market forces which are not in our control. We can give our students the best education, we can ensure their employability, we can ensure their quality. Now, how he performs in the company is not in our control. But having said that, you make a good product. When I say product is the student, a good student with good quality, good employability. I think industry is there. Now, today itself, if you look at the requirements, people are telling, 2 million cyber security engineers are needed. 1 million, AI trained engineers are needed. 100,000 robotics engineers are needed. So probably market is there. Market is there, but if the person is good, now once you have a good quality product, I think he will come and take. That's my opinion. See, interestingly, I don't know, I'm very deviating, I'm sorry. You see, if you see international rankings, there is no placement. I have worked briefly in University of California. I have seen, I am talking 10 years back. They don't keep any track. See, if you ask somebody where this fellow is, they have no clue. You go to the placement cell, it's like an employment agency. You know what a government employment agency or employment exchange. In many Western universities, the placement cell is like an employment exchange. Very few people go there and register. So students land jobs on their own because the market is there. That is one. The department has got good connections with industry. Through that they get placement. There is no placement cell per se that calls the company, gives them food, arranges for their accommodation. That is a pure Indian concept. And that is why NIRF ranking, you have seen the importance of the median salary. It's an Indian, so NIRF has taken the Indian conditions into account. When you add, you will not see median salary in PhD ranking. It is there? Anybody? There is no PhD ranking, QS ranking, no median salary, no number of companies, nothing. It's an Indian concept, placement and this thing. So at least the NIRF has captured that, lucky. Yes.
One query, sir. What is the academic flexibility for student entrepreneurs? As per the NEP 2020, there is some feasibility is there for student entrepreneurs. And one more query is, what is the maximum duration for a student entrepreneur to complete their degree?
Well, because it is engineering, AICT has given an option of 6 months, 1 year and all. But now I will flip it and flip the question in a different way. If there is a regulation that you are completing, you make your own regulation that the student has to complete BTech in 6 years. He is a very, very smart student. After 3 years, he drops out, starts a startup, 2 years. Startup is making millions of rupees. Then he comes back to college. This is how you have to probably be thinking. It depends upon you. Today, AICT is giving an option that you can take 6 months off, become a student. The AICT policy is there, NASP is there. So those kind of flexibility are there. I tell you my own experience. We have been super flexible. Some student went to Uppsala University. I know we delayed the convocation for him because that girl was gold medalist. She was too good. We delayed the convocation so that she comes and collects the gold medal because she was doing outstanding work with some Nobel laureate or something. So the flexibility is in your hands. You can decide, but then you should not be, you are doing it with a good intention, but somebody should not misuse it. That is again very important. So these kind of options are possible in your regulations.
We have given that flexibility in our present regulations, sir.
Okay, sir.
Even the students can convert the minor project when they are doing the TBA, when they are giving the business plan, if it is certified by the concerned TBA manager or the chief officer.
Can you have a course starting from first year an innovation program? You start from maybe second semester, give them a small ideation workshop, ideation or whatever, something, I don't know, problem solving and ideation. Second year you you take it up to design thinking and prototyping. Third year you make it into product. Fourth year you make it into startup. See, this is little revolutionary, but you have such an excellent TBI facility. It is possible. I am telling you, it's not easy. From your job is going to increase. But think of that way. First year you give some ideation. Second year you give some design thinking, prototyping. Third year you give him product development. Fourth year you give him startup registration. You know, your outcomes will go up. And more student entrepreneurs, it's not easy. Believe me, it's not easy, but it's possible. Now, I want to, again, this is something I had long argument with my Vice Chancellor. 4 or 5 years back, publication targets. So, IQAC has an opinion. And, I was looking at different models in US and all, and I did a lot of study and all. And at that point of time, I had my reservation. But now in this competitive scenario, I am fully justifying it. I told Vice Chancellor that I was wrong. I should have not argued with you. It's needed, otherwise we will not, so competitive we will go down. So we have to do these things. Maybe popular or not popular, but outcomes are very important, unfortunately. So one Ayurveda, can I just complete? One Ayurveda teacher, an English teacher came and she was crying and he was telling me, sir, I am from English. You are telling 3 paper, 4 paper. You show me a Scopus paper with English. You know what we did? We went to Elsevier. We told them, you give me a list. Ayurveda, big problem. No Ayurveda journal is there. Now today there are 3 Ayurveda journals or 5 journals in Scopus. We have taken that effort because otherwise, you can argue Scopus is, there are paid journals. Yes, I agree. Scopus, how they index, I don't know. I agree. But ultimately, this is what NAC is looking at. This is what THE is looking at. This is what QS is looking at. Love it or hate it, you cannot ignore it. That is my answer. We have gone, talked to Elsevier. Ayurveda journals have increased. English journals have increased. Any English faculties here? Ma'am, are there more? There are few now.
But still, the thing is, for the literature people,
Yeah.
literature as the specialization, for such people, the thing is, we cannot do anything. We don't have.
True. I understand. But
publishers accept only such papers.
correct. But there are now. Elsevier has told us that they have increased. They have added lot of humanities journals. May not be exactly in your area of interest, but we have done this. I know. We only took the effort.
But still we face that issue.
It's a problem. What to do? The best journal in my field, an Industry 4.0 work, it's not there in Scopus. What do I do? I'm not going to publish in that. I won't get credit.
But people who are ready to pay are able to publish.
Yeah, that's a problem. But, maybe this open access and all, this one nation, one subscription model comes. Maybe many of these paid journals will vanish. This is what I feel, but we don't know. Yes, sir.
We have, I'm happy to share that we have around 13 BTech programs in BTech University. And I could see from Amrita University, a branch called BTech Electronics and Computer Engineering.
Yeah.
BTech Electrical and Computer Engineering.
Right.
Whether these programs are approved by ACTE?
Yeah. We have 3 such programs: electrical and computer, communication and computer, electronics and computer. Yeah, that is also there.
Yes.
3 programs are there. They are all approved by ACTE, and they are getting very good students are choosing it.
May you know the intake? What is the intake at
It's all 60.
Each 60.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now it is full. This semester, I gave the grade for operating system course I took. That was only one. I took 2 courses this semester because we had some attrition issues. I took an OS course for the CCE students, communication and computer science.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
The following session ends now. All are requested to assemble at 1:45 a.m. 1:45 p.m. Sorry.
Happens, it will be even worse. I hope you are understanding what I am trying to say. Well, people in poor institutions, I mean not poor means tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 institutions will want to migrate. It is easy. Now it is difficult, but whatever credit he has got, he can transfer. It is listed on the ABC academic board. It will be more plausible. I am not saying it is 100% possible, but it will be easier. Today you can't learn first year in some affiliated college and move to Tech in the second year. It's not possible. But once this comes, at least there is a better window for that student. He may be able to take 3-4 bridge courses and seamlessly migrate. So those kind of things are there. And again, he can make use of this online learning, hybrid mode learning, take MOOCs courses. If there are 4 bridge courses that you are suggesting, all the bridge courses you can take online and then join your university. So these are things that have to be addressed. But this is anyway going to happen. So ultimately I will say that it is market forces. We cannot stop the market forces from effect. So this document on the new curriculum framework, not many major changes are not there. Many of these things we already have. We already have many of these things. All of us know semester is 90 days. Even today, we have two semesters in a year. Engineering, always we have had a 2-month summer vacation. Many of the arts and science programs are not having that. Now the new curriculum framework is suggesting for 8 weeks summer term for internships, training or getting vocational skills. This is not only for engineering, but for all arts, sciences, humanities. This is a change more from a arts and science perspective. I think engineering already, many of your students are going on their own for internships. Am I right? Yes or no? How many months are they going? 1 month? 9 months some are going. Anyway, 2 months. Now it will become a 2 months this thing. Now, many of you are already doing this, but the new curriculum framework is suggesting summer courses. Summer courses means wherever students have so many backlogs, you can have maximum number of summer courses and clear them so that they are ready for placement or higher studies. I guess you are doing that already. You are already doing that, but this is something that they are going to this. Now, this is very rarely it has been implemented. Some institutions have already implemented. Amrita, we have not implemented. We are only implementing it from this year onwards, 2022 admission onwards. Some, I'm not sure. I think VIT has implemented this 1 year back. SRM also maybe one. Manipal has implemented it 3 semesters back or something. So this is a major change that is going to happen. A major and a minor. We should understand what the difference between a major and a minor. We have to understand that minor and major are complementary in nature. We have to also understand that they are complementary. For example, if your major is mechanical engineering, your minor is in AI. Now, can anybody in mechanical tell me what is the use? Please, anybody? What is the benefit of a student who has got a major in mechanical and a minor in artificial intelligence? Is there anybody in mechanical engineering in this? So, yeah.
Most of the technology is now becoming automated. So if you take any systems, that is going to be an automated systems. So how we could use this machine learning and AI to build automated systems to make sure that it is precise or industry 4.0 level or even more than whatever we are looking for as a transforming from the scratch to the product level.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much, sir. So that is the idea. A major and minor are complementary. They make you, obviously, this is an employability factor because you have. Now, you can be a major in mechanical engineering and you can be a minor in, say, management. Maybe then you are good in engineering management. You can go for that kind of jobs in the industry, engineering management kind of position. So like that, combinations. Now, See, it's not that major is computer science and minor is AI. That is not the meaning of major and minor. I hope you understand what I am trying to tell you. They are complementary and slightly, they are interrelated, but I think that purpose is defeated. If you are having a major in computer science and minor in AI, you don't need to call it computer science and AI. You can just call it computer science. So that is a combination. So every department will, maybe your department, one computer science you may be offering. Why not robotics can be a minor? That means that professional is good in computer and software, but he has domain knowledge of robotics, which is kind of in the mechanical or the mechatronics or domain. So is a professional more suited for writing software programs for robotic applications. Are you able to follow me? So that is the meaning of a major and a minor. Now this policy has very clearly defined how many credits for each. Earlier there was some fuzzy nature. It was a little fuzzy in the sense that as I understand EIT and all, the minor means there were some 8 courses or something. 18 credits. 6 courses, sorry. 6 into 3, 18 credits. Now they have clearly defined all these things. Major will have 50% of the credits. The minor will be 24 to 32 credits. If you have 4 credit courses, there will be 8 courses or 6 courses that you get a minor. Now I told you in the morning, you are already having a stream of electives. It's very easy for you to convert it into a what? A minor. Already you are having a stream of electives. You are advising a student. In the 5th semester you take this elective. 6th semester you take this elective. There is a logical flow. 7th semester you take this elective. 8th semester you do this project in this domain. Now you just extrapolate that idea, you will get your answer is the minor. Is it clear? So it's a very, I think it's going to do a lot of good. We'll have more better specialized professionals. But we have to be very selective. Now, the biggest challenge that I see here is availability of faculty workload. That's going to be a major problem because if everybody is asking for an AI, you have an AI department? Everybody will ask for an AI major, AI minor. Maybe mechanical will ask, civil may ask. So then that department will be really swamped with faculty requirements. So the challenge here is how to balance the faculty workload vis-a-vis major and minor. I think that's going to be the bigger challenge. Because anyway you are offering advanced electives. So this is what we are grappling. To be very honest, this year we are limiting. We are not allowing 7 minors and all. We are limiting the number of minors because faculty workload has to be balanced. That is the reason. Even electives, I think we sometimes restrict, right? Because ultimately we can't offer each and every elective. We have to also see the workload of the faculty. So those things we take into account. One more very important thing that the new framework, we probably are doing this already. They are asking for 3 courses which are multidisciplinary. Ideally, you do this in the 1st and 2nd year, and they should be in a different discipline. So if you are in engineering, maybe it could be a discipline like natural sciences, physical sciences, mathematical, library, media, commerce, management, humanities. Now already you have a school of media. So I'm thinking from your perspective, if you have a school of media, school of law, so they are probably the people who will offer these multidisciplinary courses for the school of computing, the school of electronics, the school of mechanical. Am I making sense?
Yes.
And obviously the offering will depend upon faculty. So that is one thing. See, for example, media school, social media analytics. I mean, computer, we know the tool. We know the tools for social media analytics. But about the social media, the domain knowledge we do not know. The media school faculty will know better than us. So those kind of courses we take as multidisciplinary courses. Now this is again more of a soft skill or a life skill, ability enhancement courses, 8 credits. They are suggesting modern Indian languages. It could be some other language. could be another Indian language. I think we had already done this. BTech we had Tamil, we had Hindi, we had Malayalam, 3-4 languages we were teaching. But now we have stopped that. But this is what ability enhancement, communication skills, life skill program. Even the placement. What do you call that? Placement training. That can also be brought into this head. Ability enhancement courses, the placement training with, what is that? Analytical reasoning, logical reasoning, what else is that? Soft skills, life skills and all that. And skill enhancement courses, there are some credits for that. That is to develop skills. Value added courses, they have given some value added. In this, it is possible for universities to add credit for sports, yoga, Indian value education, environment, culture, all those things. You can add, some credits can be given and added. I think you can do one step higher. If you want, you can add, you are doing some compulsory social service, NSS activity, NCC activity, where there is clear measurable outcomes. Those activities can be plugged into this and added for credit. I think they are good things, right? NSS activity, NCC, club activity. Students are doing some outstanding. Those things. Those activities can be put as a component into the value-added courses. We are talking of summer internship compulsorily, research detention, and outward. So this is already all these things. This is a very interesting framework. It's not that these things were not there; they were already there. But now UGC has brought it in a very structured fashion. Yes. So the minimum credit requirements to award, which is a 3-year UG. 60 out of 120 will be in the major. Minor is 24. So they are telling 4 credit courses are preferable for major and minor. So 24 means 6 into 4. Multidisciplinary, the multidisciplinary ability enhancement, skill enhancement, value added can be 1, 2 or 3 credits. That depends upon your structure. So they are telling 9, 3 courses of 3, ability enhancement 8. It could be 2 courses of 4 or it could be 4 courses of 2 credits depending upon what you want. Skill enhancement 3 courses. Value added common for all OG 6 to 8 credits. Summer internship 2 to 4. For 3-year UG there is no dissertation, but for final semester, for 4 years, this will be there. So here 120 for 3 years, 160 here. I think all our BTech is more or less ACT model curriculum is similar. But I don't know whether they are not using the same names, right? So little different names they are using. I think already it's there. So 80 out of 160. 32 is 8 courses of 4 credits. Each 32 will be the minor. Multidisciplinary 3 into 3. Ability enhancement 4 into 2. Skill enhancement 3 into 3. Value added again 3 into 2 or 4 into 2, whatever is the case. Or can be anything, can even be 8 into 1. That is also okay. You want to have value added one credit course every semester, that you can do, you can decide that. Summer internship, this much and so. So this, please note, this is only a guideline. This is only a guideline. It is not binding that exactly we follow. Sometimes with some courses, see for example, in our university, we always have a course called cultural education, Indian culture values. From day one it is there. It's a 2 credit course in the first year, first semester and second semester. Now I think they have added something more. That was never coming under this. So we used to have more than 160. You can't help it because that is a what is that? It's a cultural management decision. So those kind of things you can do. So this is only a guideline, 160, but nicely they have put the structure. Audit courses are there, but not so many are taken, very few are taken. There are something called open courses and open labs and all. So, open courses, if a student wants to take an open course, he can exempt himself from a regular elective provided there is a outcome. Clear outcome is there. Now there is something called living labs. You might see, living labs. There is a program called living labs. If you Google, you can find out. It's an experiential learning program, 3-credit course in our university. It's copyrighted by us. So that also, you take the Living Labs 3-credit course, you go to the village during the vacation. Already we have a presence in the village through our trust, and you have a kind of an experiential learning program. You develop something, you publish a paper, you get the 3 credits. You can exempt out of a elective. Those kind of options are also there. We have already done that 10 years back. And to some extent the UBA, what is UBA full form? Unnat Bharat has actually got, to some extent they have taken some elements of our program, because UBA came only 4 years back. Our program started in 2013. So this is a recommended structure that they have here. Perhaps most of the top universities have already done these things, but in different names. Maybe in different names. I think we used to call them life skill program and all. Okay, shall I move? Yes. So they have given clear, credit structure for various things. Like UG certificate, I'll read this. I have recommended this. There will be more of major and minor in the 3rd and 4th year. That is what they have recommended. 3-year UG is again 120 credits. There is a minimum credit requirement which I have given. 4-year degree or honors is that 160 is there, and there is a research component. The 12 credit project is there. So ideally, this 8th semester there will be no courses, only project will be there. There is a small variation. Honors with research, 4-year program, and they will have a research stream in the 4th year. And this research stream, of course, it's a 12 credit only, but then this will have a research component, and there will be some outcomes out of the thing also. It is a guided project. A mentor has to be one-to-one mentoring is there. This is what they have recommended. UG program with single major is possible. Major and minor is also possible. Single major is also possible. And this is what they have recommended. So this is an exit option. You can read it.
So all these talks about that arts and science courses. With respect to the engineering, it differs.
See, engineering will be similar. ACT will slightly. This is the basic framework, including engineering. But more or less, this is going to be followed. UGC has brought this up. Even engineering, but maybe ACT may do some. What I am thinking is 5th year. They may add some integrated programs in one of the 5th year. This is a UGC document applicable for all UG programs 3-year and 4-year. Now, how ACT is going to change this? Even now it is similar, no?
Similar.
It is similar. But what I think what ACT will do is, my gut feeling is, I am just predicting what they will do. They will put a 5-year integrated program and then do some adjustment on this. This is what I think will happen. 5-year integrated, they are discussing. Already IITs are doing 5-year integrated, but then IITs don't go for ACT approval. They don't need to go for ACT approval, institution of national importance. So those kind of things, 5th year they will add, I think. Plus, already some ACT guidelines are there. Now you can drop out 6 months, you can do startup. All those things will come in. They are going to do it very soon, I think. This is what most people will do, double major. You can do a double major also. You just read it. So last one is this interdisciplinary UG programs. There is some scope for having this kind of programs, new programs, econometrics, those kind of things also they are promoting. Multidisciplinary UG programs also is something they have proposed, where UG, they multidisciplinary, like so BSc in botany, zoology, human biology, 3 kind of multidisciplinary UG program. BCom, taxation, commerce, something like that. Those kind of things. Business administration, 3 triple multidisciplines. Such kind of degrees are already there in the US. It's already there. So those kind of things are there. Instead of 2 major and minor, you can have 3 different verticals. Those things they are multidisciplinary. But I don't think in India how this will fly, I don't know. It's a little difficult. But major and minor will fly. Will definitely, I think major and minor is a very good idea. We have what we have done is we have an NEP committee. It's been there for a year. NEP committee works very closely with the academic council, and the NEP committee meets very regularly. I think perhaps once in 2 months. And all the deans provide the input on what kind of courses for NEP compliance. They are discussed at the NEP committee level and then escalated to the academic council. Maybe some, even when they are approved by the NEP committee and escalated to the academic council, the employability aspect is also taken care. Sometimes here and there some programs are accepted, some programs are not accepted. That is also possible. So, and then they are passed. So from 2022 admission, NEP committee, we have a committee of senior deans only. Senior deans and so senior deans, all the major deans are there. There are some, there is something like a secretary, there are some 2-3 people. It's like coordinators, like outside members now. We don't have any outside members. But what happens is that the placement dean is a member, because placement director is a member, because we have, whenever some department is proposing a double major or a major minor program, double major, from the NEP committee itself, the placement point of view, the employability point of view, it is escalated to the companies and asked. See, I told mechanical engineering with AI. So they asked Caterpillar and Mahindra, do you think this will fly? Do you think this is something that you need? So that is it's a long process. It's happening, very much it's happening. I know that somebody complained and told me that he gave a proposal for double major, it was rejected because they said that the employability is not there. So we have to be, ultimately, we have to be conscious of the market forces. We cannot just divorce ourselves. So that input is very important. So once it is cleared in the NEP committee, it goes to academic council, it is passed. Because the employability factor has already been taken care. Yeah. So this is what I told. All these major and minor courses, they are recommending 4 credits. And the other type of courses like multidisciplinary, ability enhancement, skill development, they are suggesting 3 credits. And the other courses like value added, summer internship, community outreach, they are suggesting 2 credits. Project, they are suggesting 12 credits. Maximum 40%. It's not minimum. Maximum 40% you can offer MOOCs as long as it is approved. So now there should be a certificate. There should be a evaluation. Some MOOCs don't have evaluation at all. So those kind of things are taken care. They have also recommended a grading system. Are you following the same thing? OA plus. Maybe S you have to make it OA. S is also outstanding. I think IIT also it is S, no? It is S only. SABC? SABC. We have been following this for 4 years, 3-4 years now. We used to have A plus A minus, B plus B minus. But last 3 years we are following the same grading system.
This is for UGG courses, BSc, media.
All. This is for everybody. We have been following this for engineering also, same grading we have been following. Same as CGPA, SGPA. I didn't put that in the slide because I know you are already doing this. You get the semester grade point average,
yes,
and then you get a cumulative grade point average. Same system. We have been following this for 4 years, the same thing. For engineering, for medical also, we are following, but medical we have to give the marks also because the Medical Council of India asks for the marks, but marks and the grade we are giving. We are allowed to give that. We have checked also that. Then they are of course mentioning about the POs you have to do. I have just used the these are the engineering POs, but it is like I don't need to repeat this. So I think very specifically they have mentioned about the need for outcomes and some graduate attributes. So I just used the thing that very specific. And as I told you, it is the next revision of medical curriculum from National Medical Commission will have outcomes for every course. Anatomy, these are the outcomes. Physiology, biochemistry, community medicine. There is going to be a list of outcomes. Everybody is now has to move to outcome-based education. So, finally, this about the ABC. So it's a very good idea now. Is if you have already registered ABC academic plan. Just to give you an overview of what it is there. See, ABC has started more than a year back. Many universities have registered. Student registration, just now it is in the initial stages because there is some lack of clarity on the workload because every university there is a limitation on the number of staff in the exam office. Now how to handle this extended workload is a question that they are little not sure. But the idea is very good. It's like a bank. You have money. What is a bank? You have money, you deposit the money, you credit or debit. When you want, you take money. When you want to invest for the future, you put the money. It's the same idea. You have a bank of credits. You have got this many credits. You studied for 1 year. Then you have a family problem. You have to drop out. Or you made a startup. Startup was doing extremely well. After 2 years, you ran the startup, you gave it to somebody, you sold it. Now I want to continue my education. So the idea is extremely good. And it will be a common currency because nobody can say that, I will not accept you because it's like a bank, it's like a Reserve Bank of credits, right? Reserve Bank of India credits. Academic Service Mechanism, which is a digital virtual online entity established by the University Grants Commission. In between there was something called NED, National Academic Depository, that is also now part of ABC, that is academic. NED is National Academic Depository, that is also part of this. So, using the ABC, the student becomes an academic accounts holder. So, whatever courses you have done, you are putting on the credit, the college or the university is authenticating it, it is stored like a bank. That is the idea. But now see, then the implementation is a major challenge because we don't know how exactly we will be able to authenticate 20,000 students, 30,000 students. There are some issues there. But then anyway, the idea is very good and it will help the students for seamless mobility between or within degree granting institutions. Now again, the second challenge that I already told you is what will happen if everybody wants to migrate to universities like Weltech and Amrita. It's a kind of problem. So how the government is going to handle that, we don't know. Because everybody will want to migrate. If your intake is there, you can allow him to migrate very seamlessly. There is no, you don't have to get an equivalent certificate, migration certificate, so many certificates are there, no? Equivalent certificate, migration, directly you can use the ABC and move from one college to another college or from one university. Whether it will result in an exodus, a wave of people leaving lower ranked institution to higher rank, only time will tell, we don't know. That is true, but what I am saying is, even intake, I will tell you, let us take BIT, I am just giving you an example. BIT, there may be 60, 70 masters MTech programs in Vellore campus, maybe 20 or 30. Do you know how many seats are vacant there? Perhaps 40 to 50% of the MTech seats are not filled in BIT. Now everybody in some all the institutions. PG admission is very bad. UG may be a problem, but PG, what may happen is that everybody can migrate, no? Even I know, I think in our Coimbatore campus, this time our intake was 60% or something. We only filled 60%. Other campuses it was 40 to 50% or so. So if everybody migrates, it's easy, no? Now there is a problem. Now so this could result in an exodus, definitely it will result. UG also, sir, some courses and all there. See, some slot is there, somebody will come.
Maximum number of students cannot.
Yeah. Yeah, correct.
Again, here the conflict of interest will be there. So maybe for strength of material course, I am giving 4 credit. Maybe in your university,
no,
maybe 5 credit.
Those things can be worked out because when there are, sir, if somebody is coming from, say, BIT to Amrita, see, just let's not take Amrita. BIT to SR. Let us take a transition. See, maybe first year, somebody is in first year, moving to second year. Maybe 80% is common courses. Content is the same, syllabus is the same, everything is not much different. How much you can change in an English first year course? How much you can change in a C programming? The same thing, no? And what is that? Functions, pointers, file handling. The same thing, you can't change the syllabus. So, that 20% which is the delta difference, he can just go online and do a couple of courses, finish the degree and easily, seamlessly join. Now it is very difficult, but tomorrow it will be very easy for him. That's what I am trying to say. And I am telling you there will be an exodus. Plus, there are some provisions, I don't exactly know the legal things. We are allowed 15% extra. No? 15 extra. So, maybe if your UG has got 60 seats in chemical engineering, another 15% they can join, no? So this is definitely going to have seamless mobility. There will be an exodus from lower institutions to higher. It is going to happen. Now itself it is there. Deemed universities are finishing admissions fast. Anna University, I am told 50% of the seats are vacant. That may even go down further. It may become 20 to 30%. It's a fact. But it is market forces. You cannot blame anybody. These market forces are on play. And because of ABC, there is credit recognition, credit accumulation, credit transfer, credit redemption. Redemption means somebody has taken a break, you can come and redeem the credits. Everything is there. This is already there in US and Europe. ECTS, no? Yeah, what is that? European ECTS credits is there, no? It's already redeemable. So we are just going to follow this system. Recognition, credit accumulation, credit transfer, credit redemption. And as I told you, this is definitely going to hit a lot of institutions. Unless the institutions don't improve, it's going to be a problem. So again, so students will have their own ABC account. Students will register. Student can register, university can register. This is the thing. Now, it's very easy, anybody can do, but now the challenge I will tell you, any student can register. So we are talking about 15 million students who are enrolled in higher education registering in ABC. Today approximately 15 million students are pursuing higher education in India across all disciplines. Now all of them are registering. Even if you take an average 6 courses per student, it is like 90 million records. Who will do the authentication? Ultimately, even if a student puts something, it has to be authenticated by the university. That is where I see the challenge. The challenge that I see is how will be the authentication and the workload of the staff in the examination office, controller of exams, deputy controller, that is going to be a challenge. And still, second challenge I see is, these ultimately software, it's a software, right? Whatever you say, software can be hacked. Students are very, very smart. Extremely smart students are there. They will find some vulnerabilities in the system, hanky for sure. There is nothing called a perfect system. Those kind of issues will be definitely there. They are telling it will be, there will be a lot of authentication, security protocols, and so on and so forth. So I think that's all from my side. This is what I wanted to end. This is actually my first slide in all my presentations. Here is the last slide. In God we trust, but for everything else we need data. And that data needs to be supported by evidence. Document. Moving forward, anything and everything you do, document. Because even if NEP comes, accountability will be more. Please understand, nobody is going to, no NAC may come, no ACT may come, everything you are putting online. So anything and everything you do, have a mechanism to have documents. And ultimately a document starts at a faculty level. From a faculty level, it is not only the faculty personal file, the OBE, the course plan, the lesson plan, the outcome-based education calculations, attainments, all the faculty you get the department, all the departments you get the schools, all the schools you get the universities. So I think this is without this, going to be very, very difficult. Anything and everything. That's why it's a mathematics, some statistical code. In God we trust, for everything else we need data. Second part is mind. That data needs to be supported by evidence. Anything and everything. I think that's all from my side. I'll be happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Okay, after 5 years, he got some entrepreneurship, he got some job or something, family commitments. After 5 years, he comes and we are giving opportunities. But after 5 years, what about the technology?
No, that is a problem. But one good thing is, somebody who is completing and exiting with a certificate, he is doing more of basic courses, very little major courses, very little minor courses. Some, not many. Like I told you, if he is doing a BTech in computer science, he is not studying any major computer science course except maybe C program. But first year he completed, he dropped out, he got a certificate, he became a junior programmer, came back after 3 years. Now, by that time, I am just giving you a hypothetical situation. Technology has changed, languages have changed. They may tell him that you have to come to curriculum would have changed. They will ask you, that's what you have identified the curriculum in such a way that this is the etc. Now, possibly after 3 years, all first year programming courses would have happened, they would have scrapped C programming and would have gone to Python. Now he doesn't have Python, it's a prerequisite. So he will have to do a MOOCs course in Python to join. This is what I'm... regulation, but no, but madam, regulation you are only making. So you are only deciding, first year, this is the certificate. See, first year, these are the courses. These are the major few courses, minor courses, skill courses. So after this first year, you have a curriculum where he exits with the certificate. And what is the job he will get? That also you can define. He can do this job, programmer job, basic junior programmer job. Like that you can define. Second year, certificate. He gets a certificate. Now, as you told, after 3 years, he comes back, a lot of technology would have changed. He may have to do 6 months of bridge courses to get back. That is inevitable.
What is the maximum time?
So that will be decided by the statutory body. It could be, they are telling 7 years and all, but the statutory body may change, may have to change. Now ACT is going to change those regulations, I am told. The statutory body will change those things. Medical also, somebody told me, 8 years or 9 years is the maximum time. Now they may change it, they may make it a little more flexible or something.
Is there any possibility of considering the industry experience? Say after the certificate course, the boy is joining in the industry, is getting some exposure for 1 year or 2 years. Can it be considered as a credit?
I think could be there. I mean, you have to, your academic counselor deliberate what is the kind of industry experience, what is the outcome, what is the skill he has got. It can be considered. I'm just telling you, in any case, somebody, just giving you a hypothetical situation, somebody studied for 2 years, okay, then he exited with a certificate. Now he went to some industry and worked for 2 years. He got a lot of ideas. If he's done some, you examine his experience, you can say, okay, he doesn't need to do an internship. He has already done 2 years. But again, that has to be approved at your regulation. Your regulation has to, because, see, now the ball is in your court. Please understand, the ball is in your court. You have to decide through your board of studies or academic council that this is equivalent, and it should be having some rigor or this thing that, and you are accountable. Tomorrow somebody shouldn't say that, you know, oh, they have given somebody with, so that rigor you have to define. Now, I can tell you my own experience. I told you about this Living Labs course. We went through so many iterations. You won't believe it, when we had the last NAC visit, this has been going on for 10 years. So many foreign university students have come in, so many research papers have come, funded projects have come, but they cut us to pieces. The NAC committee, they asked 100 questions. How? So, I mean, I was super confident. We had a book. Actually, the provost madam only takes care of that. She even printed a book with outcomes. But they cut us to pieces. They asked so many questions. They gave us full marks. That's a different thing. But what I'm trying to say is that it's convincing. You know, you have to convince the stakeholder that, you know, this is there. And that's the challenge. Yes, sir.
So I have a clarification.
Yes, sir.
So in the morning session, you told like there is a multi-disciplinary education and research university in each districts. If it is so, then again we have a question like whether these kind of state-owned universities will be there to control the affiliated institutions.
No, I think this is a new concept. This affiliation will come. I'll give you an example. Now you have Anna University. I don't know how many engineering colleges are there in Chennai side. 60, 70? 67, 80. All 80 will become autonomous. This NERU, that multi is, that will be a separate thing. They are planning for funding that separately, but they may convert some existing institutions into NERU. That's what I am told. See, for example, IIT Kharagpur, I was told, wanted to start a medical program. But the IIT Board of Governors shot it down because they are saying that your core competence is there in engineering and you are the oldest IIT. Why you want to do medical? But so that attitude is there, no silo attitude. So they may convert some institutions also into this NERU, or they may fund in every district ultimately. Again, that's the plan of the government.
If it is so, you know, sir, please.
They have started. No, I am talking Kharagpur start, right? They were not shut down. Now Kanpur has started. So Kanpur is becoming an MERU, no? Again, there is one more scheme called Institution of Eminence. They are very specific, it should be multidisciplinary. Now, whether, I don't know, I mean, whether they will consider VIT Chennai as an MERU, I don't know, it's a private university. But it matches the attribute, because if you have, say, medical, dental, everything is there in one campus, I think it matches that description of what you mentioned, multidisciplinary research university.
Again, there is a question like in future, we can expect like in mid-India, you can find like there are small centers where they are running more institutions.
Yeah.
As if multiple entry and exit option is there. If I have an affordability to have a sufficient fund, I can start a 2 years program.
Yeah.
You know,
Community college.
Again, like competitive strategies, we need to fit into
Absolutely.
the system.
There is a plan for this. See, community in America, many students transfer from community colleges. 2 years they study in community colleges, then they transfer to a top university. They are now telling some community colleges will start. Again, that will affect lower ranked university colleges, not higher ranked, because from these community colleges, more students will come to good universities, not to poor universities. So that will also be competitive. It's a very valid point, I know. It's a problem actually. And I think my feeling is
for the one-day seminar on National Education Policy 2020 for higher education. First and foremost, I would like to start my deep sense of gratitude to our revered Chancellor and Founder President, Colonel Dr. R. Rangarajan, respected Founders President Dr. Swatantra Rangarajan, appreciated Chairperson and Managing Trustee Mrs. Rangarajan Mahalakshmi Kishore for their constant support and resources provided for the successful conduct of this event. Thank you, sirs and madam. Next, I would like to extend my sincere thanks to the distinguished chief guest and resource person of the day, today's event, Dr. Prashant R. Nair, Vice Chairman IQAC, Amrita Viswa Vidyapitham, Coimbatore, for his valuable time spent on the informative sessions on NEP 2020 and discussions. Thank you, sir. I wish to express my gratitude to our esteemed Vice Chancellor and beloved Registrar for their constant encouragement and guidance in all our IQAC activities. Thank you, sir. My sincere thanks to all the deans, controller of examinations, HODs, and all participating faculty members from various departments for their excellent cooperation throughout the event. Thank you, sirs and madams. Before we end the proceeding, on behalf of the Office of Quality Assurance, we are sure that we all have a quality time throughout the deliberations and get benefit out of the seminar. Not but the least, I wish to record my sincere thanks to all the teaching faculty, non-teaching staff, audio and video in charges, CMC, MOC team, and all others who have directly and indirectly helped us for the successful conduct of the seminar. Lastly, on behalf of the management and on behalf of the Office of the Quality Assurance and on my own behalf, I sincerely thank you all once again. Thank you all.